Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, here we are. What day is it? It's Friday, TGIF, and we're all here together once again, gathered around the breakfast table, at work, at the water cooler, or wherever you congregate this morning. We are here, and because we are here and this Friday, it's the Coffee Hour. We thank you so much for being along with us for this Friday. And all of you together, one and all, do you want to be part of the show? Well, that's very simple. You can be part of the show. As a matter of fact, that's what we insist on doing, being part of the show and getting you involved in conversation and just doing the 9 yards. We're so glad to have you along with us. And if you're at work right now, you're gathered around the water cooler, get at your desk. If you're into the midst of the coffee, I guess, would you have a little coffee break there, right? Take that coffee break and spend it at your desk. Stay right there at your desk and enjoy this show and then sip your coffee at the same time with that 15 or 20 minutes that is allotted to you. And then when it's all over, you can go back, but you'll be at your desk anyway, right? And you can watch the show and then at the same time, you can multitask and work together, right? We're so glad to have you aboard with us. We're going to be here for a whole full hour as we are each Friday at this time. We gather around with a little coffee in hand and have a lot of fun. And we have so much to talk about today. So that's why we want you to get involved. And how you get involved in the show. As the host of the show, I get things rolling as I'm doing right now. And as I get things rolling, you can at the same time get ready to say whatever you have to say. Just use your keyboard on your computer or your phone or your tablet or whatever device that you use to watch us. And just type in whatever you want to talk about. And I'll see you right there on the big screen. Of course, I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. Why? Because that's what the program is all about. Free exchange and ideas of opinions. And I'm pretty sure you have yours, and we want you to express yours. It's all free right here, and you don't have to pay a dime to do it. That's the good thing about it. And if you're here for the very first time, we welcome you aboard. You're just as, just as important as anyone else who's been here for a whole year, 2 years, 3 years, or whatever, or ever how long they've been here. You're just as important, and we want you to know that we're on 3 different platforms right now as we perform here. We're on live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And all you have to do is just choose whatever you want to choose, and you'll get a chance to see the show, whatever your favorite place is, all right? That's all you have to do is just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And again, if you're here for the first time and you happen to be watching us on Facebook, why don't you take the time right now to tag your friends on Facebook, right? You can tag as many as you like. And if you can't tag them all, you have like thousands and thousands of friends. Obviously, you can't tag them all. But maybe each week you can involve people in as they come along, all right? So just tag this show to them. They'll see it's coming from you. They'll click onto that tag and it'll bring them directly to us. And maybe they are here for the first time. If they like what they see, if they like what they hear, of course, maybe they'll come back again and again, just like you. But if you're new, we're glad to have you aboard with us. And also, if you're watching us on YouTube, take the time right now, if you haven't done it thus far, take the time to subscribe to my YouTube channel. All you have to do is just drag your mouse there where it says subscribe down there. And I think it's in black, right? It used to be in red a long time ago, but changing the color. This is black now. All right. So just click on to that where it says subscribe. It could be green. I don't care what color it is. Click onto it, right? And you will be a subscriber to our YouTube channel. Now, we want you to do that because, first of all, we like to find out who's watching us, how many people are involved, and, that gives us an idea on how many people are with us. It also gives you the opportunity to know, as a subscriber, that whenever we come on live or any kind of activity occurs on the YouTube channel, you'll get to see that instant notification that will pop up because you may not think about the show. Maybe next week you come on, you may not think about the show, but you happen to be online and you see that instant message that pops up, and right away you know that, hey, we're on the air, or there's another activity following, because the other activities, even if we're not on the air, could be as much as posting a video or maybe a print picture or anything. Any activity that goes along, you'll get that instant notification, and all you have to do is just click onto that, and it brings you right to the YouTube channel. Now, for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you needn't worry about anything. All you have to do is keep telling your friends about us, letting them know what we're doing, where we are, and they can be part of the program as well. All they have to do is just be active and just come on in, and it doesn't take anything to do it, right? And by the way, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you don't have to worry about a fee or anything. It doesn't take any of that. It's free. All you have to do is just click on, just instant. It just takes that much time, just a milli of a second, right? And then you're in right there. So tell your friends to do the same thing as well. We got a lot of things to talk about, and in conjunction with interacting with you, which we'll continue to do all the show long, we've got things that we do here. For instance, in just a few minutes from now, within this particular half hour, we've got Brian Camp coming along with us, and he's coming along with the latest developments in today's world of sports. The name of his show is called Sports Update. Now, each week he comes along and we link up with him. He's coming out of Charlotte, so it's New York to Charlotte, and you'll get a chance to see him on screen as well, except for you guys who are watching us on Instagram. Now, you don't get that luxury because we don't have that luxury, but you could still hear his voice. All right. You can still hear everything he says when he does the sports. You'll hear that. And but for the rest of you guys watching us on YouTube and Facebook, you'll get a chance to see him on camera. Now, if you have any questions sports related to him, all you have to do is just type it right in when he comes in. Get them all ready. Get the questions all ready for him, and then he'll answer all the questions for you. If he doesn't have the answers, by golly, he will get the answers. So that's what we have going for us right here. And remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on the show, The Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. So with all of that out of the way, let's do what we normally do. Let's lift our cups, raise them high with your coffee, because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. That's delicious. That's fantastic. I'm gonna have a little more, just a little later as we go along. But if you're not a coffee drinker, maybe you're a tea drinker or whatever beverage that you like, have it along with us for the next hour, and we'll be here and we'll have a lot of fun. You have to bring your own donuts, that's for sure. Anyway, later on in the program, before the show is over, I have a selection of movies, because you know the weekend is coming up. It's upon us. It's coming up right away. And in the weekend, you might do a lot of things. And one of the things that you may want to do, besides only having the weekend for yourself, maybe you want to catch up on some movies that you haven't seen in a long time, old movies. So I have my picks of the week that I take from Turner Classic Movies, and I bring them to you. I think movies that I think that you may be interested in, or movies that I think worth watching. And so we'll have all of that coming up for you. And that's all coming up right here on the Coffee Hour. Thank you so much for being along with us. Well, here we are. It's a brand new month. It's the 5th of December. And it's our very first show in this brand new month. And before you know it, it'll be all over. Now, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We weren't here last week. You know that. If you were looking for us, we weren't here last week because we had the whole Thanksgiving weekend off. But I hope that you had a great one. People were traveling like mad all week. You've seen it on the news. The airports were all clouded and cluttered, and people were trying to drive away, getting to wherever their destination was, and pretty sure they got stuck in traffic, because everyone has one idea in mind at the same time: get out of Dodge. And for the people who didn't stay local and decided that they were going to do that, They jumped on the highway and made their destinations. I hope you made yours safely. And then again, people in the airports were crowded. And depending on where you were coming from, because I know some places upstate New York, they had snow coming down and they had a lot of it. I hope that's not an indication of what we're going to get in the city or maybe what you're going to get wherever you are. But they did have a lot of snow. They had to, and I'm pretty sure they had shut down the airports in that area. That's how bad the snow was. But a lot of people were traveling, and it's all over now. You're back. And I say it's all over because the Thanksgiving holiday is all over, but the holidays in itself is not all over because now we have Christmas to contend with. That's coming up. And of course, the 25th, everybody will be home celebrating, giving gifts away and all of that. And people are going to be traveling again. Now, I'm going to compare what it was like on Thanksgiving compared to Christmas and see how many people travel. Now, some people stayed local for their Thanksgiving holiday weekend. They stayed local and didn't do anything, so they didn't have to worry too much about traveling or cars or anything like that. And they stayed home. And for the people who are traveling, who have traveled, maybe they won't travel for Christmas. And I'm going to be one of them because I did travel for Thanksgiving, but I'm not going to travel for Christmas. So it was going to be one or the other. So I chose Thanksgiving to go away. So Christmas is going to be local. Now, some people who didn't travel on Thanksgiving will probably travel Christmas and vice versa, you know. And then there are some who have traveled Thanksgiving and still will travel again on Christmas. So there's a lot to do with the holidays, a lot of spending, and it gets expensive too if you're traveling like that too. You know, if you're driving, you know, you have to consider gas, unless of course you have an electric car. All you have to do is just charge it up, right? And then tickets for the airport, and then you have to make all of your reservations in advance. That's the whole thing. You got to know that when those major holidays come around and you're going to travel along in the air, you're going to take to the sky. Of course, you're going to make sure that your reservations were done well in advance. You know, I mean, at least a month in advance, 2 months in advance, or something like that, or whatever you can do it. You know, and a lot of people that they travel to look at the prices of tickets. I know sometimes the airlines they go up, but then later on, as it wears out, when we get closer to the holiday, the tickets tend to get a little cheaper, and that's what people are looking for. So we hope that you find what you're looking for if you're going to travel for Christmas. And again, by all means, do that. And I always say too, if you're going to drive, you know, leave the booze alone, you know, or take a designated driver. That's the safe thing to do. Okay, so we've got that coming up. Christmas is coming up. Then before you know it, New Year's is coming up along with the cold weather and all of that have to be done in consideration. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of money to be spent, and you're going to go to the malls. And of course, now they have all of the Christmas music piped in the malls. And then you're saying, some people are loving it, and then some people are going, wow, nah, you know. Nevertheless, it's here. And I like to call this particular part of the season into the darkness before we get to the light. And I only say that, and I don't say that on a negative tone. It's just that because there's so many things that has to be done, and people are just, you know, just wondering, you know, well, how can I get through this, you know, or if I'm going to get through this. Money have to be spent, gifts have to be bought, and it's crazy. So that's what you expect for this time of the year. And so when the new year come around and after all of that's over, it's light at the end of the tunnel, but we didn't get to Christmas yet. So we're on our way there, and we're going to see what happens, because when the light comes at the end of the tunnel, then that's when I look forward to summer. I can't push it too fast because, you know, the cold weather is still here. And I don't think that we've seen cold weather yet. We complain about the cold, but I don't think we've seen cold weather yet. It's cold here in New York, that's for sure. So we're trying to stay in gear and stay warm and just take care of ourselves. Okay, on this December 5th and this whole month of December, right? We acknowledge a lot of things. We don't have any particular celebrations that we have, but we do have something to acknowledge. And we talk about the holiday weekend, and this goes good for this whole month. It just happens to be for this whole month that we acknowledge National Drunk and Drug Driving Prevention Month. That's what this is. That's what we're acknowledging all month long. You look at your calendar, you might see that. And if it's not on your calendar, I'm pretty sure if you look it up on the internet, you'll find that's what we're acknowledging all month long. So it's the National Drug National Drug and National Drunk and Drug Driving Prevention Month. And not only this month, you want to do that every day of your life when you're driving. You want to make sure that you're on the road and you have a sober head, and hopefully you look out for people around you. You know, just because you're driving, that doesn't mean you don't have to look out. You have to look out for the other guy too, because sometimes he doesn't watch out for himself. So you want to be a safe driver and stay ahead of the game and look at the people behind you. In your rear view mirror, you want to look at the people on the side of you who are coming or passing you. And then you want to look at the people in front of you, especially in the front of you. You know, you want to watch where you're going when you're traveling like that. So that's what we are acknowledging this whole month, and we'll tell you more about it as each week when we come along. That's what we're going to acknowledge. National Drunk and Drug Driving Prevention Month. All right, just keep that in mind. That's very important. All right. And I don't know. I don't know how this has come down. After saying all of that, you can't make this up. Do you realize today is National Bartenders Day? Now, you know, that what a segue that is, right? Today is National Bartenders Day. I don't know how you could put those two together, but I will say this. Now that we did, I will say this. If you're going to do that, make sure that you do it responsibly. They always say responsibly. That's the key. If you're going to do that, you're going to go to some tavern or some saloon or something like that. You go out for a couple of belts, you know, you're going to make sure that you're not driving. You know, the best thing for you to do is take mass transit if that's available to you, or if that's not available to you, you could always jump in a cab or Uber or something to get yourself home, but do not drive. All right. So we salute all of our guys who are working in the bars. Salute to all of the bartenders. This is your day. This is your day that we're celebrating, National Bartender Day. Okay. Okay. All right. Listen, did you get your flu shot or your COVID shot yet? If you haven't, this is a good time to do it. All right. Don't wait any longer. Don't wait any longer. There's no more grace time for you, because the weather is getting cold. And as you already know, as the weather gets colder, as far as COVID is concerned, the spikes get high. So that's why we have the flu shots and the latest COVID-19, the up-to-date COVID-19 vaccinations. They're all here. They're all available. All you have to do is go to your pharmacist, which is your favorite pharmacist, and tell them that you would like it. In most cases, you have to make the appointment to do it. All right. You have to make the appointment to do it. And you can go online. They have I'm sure your pharmacists have a website. You go online and make the appointment, and you could take both shots at the same time. You can do that now. If you prefer not to do it, make 2 different appointments, one for flu, one for COVID. And you can stretch it out maybe the following week after, or maybe 2 weeks afterwards. Then you have to make 2 appointments for each event. And if you're taking both, then you have to check in. It says COVID, flu, you know, but this is no more, there are no more grace time. There's no more grace time here. We're in the midst of it now. This is the season. It's cold outside. It's crazy. And people are still wearing their mask, and they're taking it easy, but it's crazy right now. All right. So please do it now. Don't wait. When we get off the air, put on your hat and coat, walk to your pharmacist, and make the appointment. If you already have the website where you can make the appointment, you could do it right online, right there. And then once you make that appointment, keep that appointment. When that day comes around to do it, keep the appointment. It's very important. Uh, the flu shot was available the tail end of August and early September. And shortly after that, the updated COVID-19 vaccinations were available. They're available now. There's no excuse. Just go there. Go there now. It's very important that you do that. Go out there and take your vaccinations. They are very important to do. Okay? Please do that. Don't do it for me. Do it for yourself. It's time right now to go to Charlotte, North Carolina. And as I told you, we link up each week with him. You'll get a chance to see him online right here. With the latest developments in today's world of sports, Brian Camp, of course, has the sports for you. And if you have any sports related questions, bring it on. Just bring it on, and he has all the answers for you. Brian, here we are. I don't know. It's frigid here in New York. How frigid is where you are? Because we're down in the 30s here.
Well, early this morning it was 21 degrees. But
Mm,
it's warming up now. It's 32 degrees. But the high here in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's only going to be 43.
mm,
So, but nationwide here in this country, in the Midwest and up north, it's supposed to be cold weathers for the next couple of days.
mm.
But I just don't know. Well, listen, it is winter. I mean, what is it supposed to be? Is it supposed to be hot all year long here? No. Not even in Florida, you're
Unless,
going to get warm days.
unless you're in the Bahamas.
Even in the Bahamas, you get some nice weather, yeah, but it's not going to be in the 80s and 90s. I mean, the Bahamas around this time of the year, maybe 65, 70 degrees, which is comfortable weather. But it is wintertime, and there is going to be some cold weather starting now, and some places even had snow. We were supposed to have snow. Some parts of North Carolina had snow early this week, but it didn't come down to touch the Queen City here in Charlotte. But elsewhere, it was kind of a little snowy. So, but we just gotta adapt. We gotta adjust to the climate. That's basically what we're gonna have to do. So that's where we stand. But good morning to you all out there who's tuning in here. You see I'm all dressed up for Santa.
Yep, all lit up.
Yeah. I'm trying to understand this National Bartenders Day. Oh wow. I don't know what that's gonna be like, especially on the weekend. Um, just like what you said, be safe, be smart, and don't drive. Do not drive. But that should be fun in a lot of the bars and pubs that's around the country. Um, Hopefully that you be smart and just to adjust to make sure that you don't do anything foolish
Yeah.
and so hurt yourself or hurt someone else because of you not containing yourself to drink, you know.
Ju-
So
uh, just so you know, I'm kind of thirsty looking at your background.
oh, you mean, yeah. Yeah, I haven't touched that. I haven't touched that at all. I've been here for 6 years, haven't touched it. We leave it for our guests
Yeah.
who who would like to indulge in some nice eggnog, if you want to call it eggnog, spike eggnog and everything. Even I bought an eggnog with peanut butter.
Ooh.
I'm I'm dying to see how that tastes. You know,
I
so
don't,
just
I
a
don't,
little bit of alcohol.
I don't even like the sound of that. Peanut butter eggnog. Oh,
Yeah,
let me know.
egg peanut butter. Yeah.
All
I am going to have some eventually. I'm just
right.
going to sip it,
Yeah,
just leave it for the guests. Because one thing about eggnog that is spiked, it doesn't spoil because the alcohol preserves it.
it's true.
So
That's
just
true.
like rum cake, when you have rum cake, you
Yeah.
could wrap it up for a couple of years and put some rum on it. People just drowse it, drain it with rum,
Mhm.
and it's good for a long time. Just got to wrap it up. So
Yeah.
alcohol is a good thing in most cases, in some cases. So that's what we
I-
are.
As a kid growing up, mom used to make cakes, make chocolate layer cakes, right? And when there was the Essex chocolate in the bowl, what was left, I used to take my fingers and just lick the bowl. I used to like to lick the bowl. Now that I'm grown, if someone is making a rum cake, I want to lick the bowl afterwards.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the best part of it is that batter, just oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the best. Cake mix, you live for that. You live for that moment, and nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So hope everybody's Thanksgiving was well spent. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves, ate well. I little disappointed in myself for not catching the March of the Wooden Soldiers. I don't usually miss that, but I'm going to catch it next time around. I was busy cooking. I cooked and I cooked and I cooked. I woke up Wednesday morning at 4:40 a.m.
Mhm.
Went to the doctor's office, um, had a great report. Then I went to see the movie Wicked with my granddaughter and my niece while the guests were slowly piling in. And then Wednesday night, I started cooking from 6 p.m. all the way to 10 a.m. the next morning. So what I did was I snuck away for a little bit at 10 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day and went to sleep. Woke up a couple hours later, had to fry some fish. So I did a lot. I did a lot of cooking, but it was well deserved right now. Hope everybody's Thanksgiving was fun and they enjoyed themselves.
Before you get to the sports, you mentioned the March of the Wooden Soldiers. If you don't want to wait until Christmas to see it, you could stream it. You could stream it. It's out there. It's available.
It's not the same. You got to watch it on TV. I
Uh,
was able to watch the Thanksgiving Day parade,
yeah.
but there's something about PIX, WPIX in New York, and wherever it is, something about the March of the Wooden Soldiers, whether you're watching in black and white or in color on the TV screen. Yeah, I could go on YouTube and stream it, but it's not the same. It's just not the same. So, but I'm going to catch it. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I'm going to catch him too. I'm going to catch Frosty the Snowman. I'm going to catch him too. So we still got another big holiday coming up.
And Charlie Brown, if you have it.
And Charlie Brown. Yeah, I see Charlie Brown got a new girlfriend too. She got a sister. He got a sister. Nothing wrong with that. Go ahead, Charlie Brown. I ain't mad at you. Do your thing. Do your thing, Charlie Brown. Anyway, good morning to everyone out there who's tuning in. I wish everybody well, help they safe in this cold weather. But let me get to sports. That much to talk about. But the NBA will return to China. Yes, the NBA will return to China for the first time since 2019. With preseason games, between the Nets and the Suns. This is supposed to be in October. So they're trying to come back with their relationship because China and the U.S. Had some words, had some, they've been apart for a while. But the commissioner Adam Silver support the freedom expression after Houston Rockets GM Daryl Morey tweeted an image of supported protests in Hong Kong in 2019, October 2019. So they're getting their act together. It's great to have China back in with the U.S. And, it's great to have the U.S. and foreign countries when we play sports, whether it's baseball, basketball, football. So the NBA and China is coming back. This day in sports, December 6, 1960. Major League Baseball American League grants Gene Autry. He was an entertainer and a cowboy. Granted him a franchise with at that time, the Los Angeles Angels, later became the California Angels. And so he was granted ownership. 1961, Ernie Davis, Syracuse running back, is the first African-American to win the Heisman Trophy award. 1973, the National League votes the San Diego Padres to Washington, D.C., but that didn't never occur. They decided not to have it. It never happened. So much for that. Because Washington had a baseball team called the Washington Pilots back in the late 60s. 1988, the Milwaukee Bucks win their 1,000th NBA game. That's the second franchise to reach that goal. 1992, the San Francisco 49ers, Jerry Rice, wide receiver, catches the NFL record of 101 touchdowns. And in 2018, Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry rushed for a tying record run for 99 yards, tied with the great Tony Dorsett, who did that on Monday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings when Danny Don says, "Oh, I don't believe this, 99 and a half yards." It was a touchdown that's very hard to duplicate. You have to be on your own 1 yard line to rush for 99 yards. So that's what he tied that record during that time. Birthdays on this date: 1921, NFL quarterback, Cleveland Browns quarterback, was born in Waukena, Illinois. 1934, remember this wrestler called Nick Bockwinkel, pro wrestler, AWA champ, was born in St. Louis, Missouri. Many of you don't know Nick Bockwinkel. He was a wrestler from the old days. He was one of those brutal, but he was a scientific wrestler as well too. So we say happy birthday to him. Happy birthday. He was born in 1945. Larry Bowa, Major League Baseball shortstop for the Phillies, was born in Sacramento, California. Happy birthday. Johnny Manziel was born in 1992. NFL quarterback, 2012 Heisman Award winner, was born in Tyler, Texas. And happy birthday, who was born in 1994, Giannis Antetokounmpo, I don't know how to say his name, but he's known as Giannis, was born in 1994. He was a 2021 Finals MVP champion, was born in Athens, Greece. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a cold day around the country.
Oh, frigid. Speaking of old timers, right, in wrestling, and I go back in the days, I was talking to someone at the gym this morning who's also a wrestling fan, and we had a good conversation in between workouts. And I took him back and I said, hey, I remember, I said, I like wrestling up to date, but I love wrestling in the early days. And I brought back a lot of names to jog his memory, like Bobo Brazil, Haystacks Calhouns, Bruno Sammartino, all of those old wrestlers. Yeah.
The superstar
Billy Graham. And he was very colorful. He was a very colorful character. And I can go on and on. I just love wrestling back in the day. And that was before the days when they had storylines that they do today. And they just did plain wrestling. And that was before the days before Vince McMahon was the owner of the WWF at that time.
The Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Right. His father owned WWF. It was called a WW. I think it was 3 W's, I believe.
3 W's, yes.
Yeah. And then Vince McMahon took it over because Vince McMahon at that time was no more than an announcer at that time.
A promoter announcer, yes.
And he used to get in tangles with some of the wrestlers or the managers, like Fred Blassie. Remember Fred Blassie?
Yeah. The Grand Wizard, McMahon. Captain Lou Albano. Yeah.
Albano. What was the guy's name? He's no longer with us, but he used to always say, absolutely, General. He used to always call him General for some reason. I can't think of his name. He was one of the managers, but he's always absolutely, General. I can't remember his name.
I don't remember his name, but my 2 favorites were superstar Billy Graham and Ivan Putski.
Yes, Ivan Putski, and I think about not just in wrestling, but some of the old other athletes, like in football. Do you remember Emerson Boozer?
Yes, former New York Jets, used to play, was on the winning team of the 1969 New York Jets Super Bowl.
I don't know if you can see him, but Warren is out there. I don't know if you can
Yes.
see him. Oh, you can see him?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So you got, and he's a football fan, and there was Emerson Boozer and Y.A. Tittle. You know, these guys, these were the legends. Y.A. Tittle. Who else did we have? Who you can't?
Ernie the Big Cat Lad.
Yeah, that's right. And then you have Frank Gifford from the Giants, New York Giants. And Warren just mentioned, by the way, going back to wrestling, the Iron Sheik.
I remember the Iron Sheik, yeah. Iron Sheik, yeah. Oh yeah. Remember the Blackjacks and the Valiant Brothers and yeah. Those were some great wrestlers and the Canadian Wolfman. You know, I remember all of those guys. Yeah. Yeah.
I mentioned Haystacks Calhoun. I don't know if you remember him. Yeah, he goes like way back there. Haystacks Calhoun used to always carry this iron horseshoe. That was his.
His tag team partner was Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah,
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 I remember him. Yeah.
yeah. And then as you move along, you get these other legendary guys, Jake the Snake. Oh man, there's so many of them.
The
So
Macho Man, Randy Savage.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in baseball, you have the legends like, of course, Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Rocky Colavito, uh, Dean Chance. Dean Chance, I think, was before your time. He used to be a pitcher
I
for,
don't remember him. Yeah.
I think he was a pitcher, I believe, for at that time the Cleveland Indians. I think he was the Cleveland Indians at that time. Yeah, so it goes back. I just love those old nostalgic players. They're all great.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving is over. What do you got planned for Christmas? Because that's coming up, like it or not. And it's gonna
Um,
like a,
Really nothing. I mean, there's a lot of sports that's going to be on for Christmas Day. I
yeah.
could tell you that much. There's
Mhm.
5 NBA games. There's 3 NFL games. Um, Basically, going to just stay home and relax.
Yeah.
Might go on the smoker. You can smoke all year round. So I might just cook a brisket, a small brisket. Let me tell you, that brisket was so great. Warren, you missed it. I'm sorry, cousin, but you missed that brisket. I bought a 20-pound brisket, and I only had one slice and a half. A lot of people was complaining that they didn't have any. I'm sorry. I had somebody I invited. I promised her that I will bring it for Christmas because she's having a Christmas dinner. I promised her I will make it up to her because she was supposed to come. She was in South Carolina. She was supposed to stop back and get some brisket. Forgive me, but my word is my word. So I'm going to get you a brisket. It's not going to be a 20-pound brisket, but it's going to be a brisket, and I'm going to do that. I roasted a turkey. I made 7, 8 racks of ribs. It was a lot of meat that I cooked too, a lot of meat and chopped barbecue. Yeah, so it was a lot of work, but it was a great joy to see it. My biggest joy, Warren, and everybody who's out there listening, was the day after Christmas, the day after Thanksgiving. We went to feed the homeless, and that was something that I really cherish. Something that I started doing 4 years ago. Um, Frank Allan here came with me, my good friend Neil, and we spoke to some of the homeless people, telling them to don't give up. Always stay positive. If you may not believe in the Most High God, but just don't give up on your life, because we don't know, we don't care where you came from or how you was able to get here to be homeless. We don't care. We all have a past where we did something that we wasn't supposed to do, and it landed us into trouble. But the main thing, you're still here, and we fed you. We talked with you. Our goal was to encourage you not to give up.
And also, what we do care about is getting back on your feet and being a productive person, and it can be done. A lot of people figure, well, it's all hope is all lost. No, it's not all lost. Everyone goes through a situation and they can bounce back.
That's right. That's right.
Once you bounce back, you learn from that. You actually learn from that.
That's right.
So intensely that you know you're not going to go back there again. And you're going
That's
to do
right.
everything you can to stay afloat and stay on top of things. Now, for the next 4 years, this is not going to be an easy task for any of us.
Yep.
So we all roll up our sleeves and get busy and go with the fight. Don't leave the country, by the way. Do not leave this country. Stay here and fight.
And one thing about Americans, regardless of who you voted, and if you wasn't too happy with the results, one thing about Americans, we're very resilient. We'll get through this here.
Mhm.
We'll get through these here 4 years. Okay. It's nothing that we could do, but we will get through this here.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure the opposite will. Because I mean, the clown show, and I'm going to call it out for what it is. The clown show. This is just the rehearsal. This is not the show yet. This is just the clown rehearsal show. They are having a hard time getting the cast of characters together. So can you imagine what's going to happen when we actually get the show rolling?
Yeah, it's going to be something, and I'm not going to get biblical, but there's a part. All of this has biblical implications. Where, in the book of Samuel, they talk about they wanted a king. They wanted a king, and God did not want them to have a king because God said, "I'm your king," but God allowed them to have who they wanted.
Mhm.
And if any of you that know the Bible, seen what happened, you got to read the first book of Samuel. You've seen what happened. You got to be careful what you want and wish for, because
Yeah.
it may not be turn out the way you want to, because God always have the say so.
Yeah.
But you got to be a believer.
Absolutely. All right, Brian. We'll catch you back here next week. Thanks for the sports. And
Everybody stay warm. Watch college football tomorrow. A lot of big games, implications of football playoffs and the NFL. In the meantime, ho, 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 ho. See you all next week.
take care, Brian. All right, that was Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Very colorful today. He's all lit up like a Christmas tree. And this is a time of the season to do that right now, anyway. Thank you, Brian. And we're going to move along because we're a little behind now. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allen, and I'm going to be with you for the balance of the show. And Warren Dantzler is out there with us. He's out. Warren comes out from North Carolina, just as Brian does. Brian is in Charlotte and Warren is in Greensboro. And Warren has a temperature of 31 degrees and clear at the moment. So yeah, it is cold. It's cold over there, cold in Charlotte, and it's definitely cold here in New York. I can tell you that right now. So, it's hot soup day, if you want to go out there, and since it's, by the way, it's saluting to the bartenders out there, a lot of people want to warm up that way. But again, if you're going to do that, make sure you do it safely, very, very safely. By the way, I didn't give my weather forecast, which I'm going to do right now. But those of you who want to chime in conversation, give us your weather forecast like Warren just did. And we will, we want to compare notes. We just want to compare notes on what the weather's like where you are and what the weather's like where we are. Now, as I said, we've got cold weather here. It's very, very frigid. I went out this morning to go to the gym, and they're not playing out there. They're not playing out there. So bundle up real warm, because right now in New York, as we speak right now, we've got an even 33 degrees outside. Well, I say can't even, that's an odd number, but we got 33 degrees outside right now. And the way it looks for the entire weekend, not bad. We're not going to see any rain during the weekend, not at least not until Monday. But as it stands right now, we have a mix of clouds and sun. Temperatures will be nearly steady in the mid 30s, and winds will be west-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For tonight, cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy in the after midnight. It'll be very, very cold. Temperatures will be plunging down to 30 degrees. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for Saturday, we got a lot of sunshine out there, along with a few afternoon clouds. And we'll have a high around 41 degrees. And winds will be at west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, overcast skies, low 36, winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And as we settle in for Sunday and get back to work on Monday, it's going to be cloudy skies early. Will become partly cloudy later in the day, and we'll have high 52 degrees. Winds will be west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So there you have it. And repeating our current temperatures, we do have 33 degrees outside. And I stay warm, stay as warm as you can. And there may be other places where the temperatures are up there and it's not as cold and people are enjoying that. But for the rest of you guys, you know, stay warm, just stay with it. You know, stay with it. It's bone it's bone chilling here in New York City. That's for sure. Bone chilling, and I really mean that. Okay, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we're going to be with you for the balance of the hour. Wayne Northrup, an actor known for originating the role of Roman Brady on Days of Our Lives, died last Friday. Northrup died at the Motion Picture and Television Woodland Hills home. The actor's wife, actress Lynn Herring of General Hospital, said in a statement that Wayne was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's 6 years ago. He's 77. Moana 2 is dominating the box office, Disney's animated sequel to the 2016's original debut in theaters across the North America last Wednesday and earned a 5-day domestic debut of about $221 million. The film has broken numerous box office records, including the biggest 5-day opening of all time, plus the biggest Thanksgiving weekend release, as well as the biggest Black Friday release. Oprah Winfrey has a new book club pick and a new platform to talk about books and other topics of the day. On Tuesday, Oprah Winfrey launched the Oprah Podcast, a weekly series airing on her YouTube channel that will feature book club authors and guests ranging from global newsmakers to cultural change makers. And upcoming podcasts will feature author Chef Ina, I believe is Ina Garten, and Dr. Vivek Murthy, and he's the U.S. Surgeon General, among others. Will Smith is set to perform in France for the International Positive Festival on July 31st, 2025 at the Roman Theater of Orange. And the event will mark Smith's first concert in France, and it comes as a plot to return to the music industry. Smith is reportedly working on a new album. He recently released a new single called Work of Art, and alongside his music video. And it's said that that song will be the lead single for Smith's new album. Nona Judge's daughter, Grace Kelly, not the Grace Kelly, but this is another Grace Kelly. This is her daughter, Grace Kelly, was arrested in October and faces 7 charges. Kelly, 28, was charged with 3 counts of felony grand larceny for allegedly stealing a church van and trailer. And in addition, she faces 4 additional charges of driving without a license, destruction of property with intent, failure to use headlights, and setting in motion a vehicle with intent to commit a crime. The latest charge marked the 3rd time in a matter of months that Kelly has been arrested. Birthdays today: former Governor of New York Andrew Cuomo is 67 years old today. Actor Ken Schreiner of General Hospital is 71 years old. The late Linda Creed, my friend Linda Creed, she's a writer and she wrote songs for the Stylistics and other people like that, along with Tom Bell. She's no longer with us. I miss her. She would have been 76 years old today. Also, actress Jo Beth Williams is 76 years old. Singer Frankie Beverly, the late Frankie Beverly, died recently. He would have been 78 years old. Jazz musician Jay Leonhardt is 84. Comedian, actor Wally Cox. The late Wally Cox would have been 100 years old. Jazz musician Dave Brubeck would have been 104 years old. And actress Agnes Moorehead would have been 124 years old. And those of the birthdays of the people of entertainment, we say happy birthday to all of you who are alive and well. And those of you who are no longer with us, but we salute you and we acknowledge your birthday for today. Okay. Now, those of you who are trying to want to get in touch with me, please do that. I have an email address and a telephone number that you could use to do that. I'm going to give you my email address first. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. Prod is Prod. That's short for productions. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. The telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Remember, you could use that anytime you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Email us, I'll get it. Call us, leave a message, I will get it, and we'll return your emails and your phone calls. How about that? All right. And maybe you want to announce your birthday. You can include that in bar mitzvah or anything like that. You want to talk about the show, critique the show, or suggest on what we should put on the show. All of that is taken in consideration. Just be proactive and do that. And keep all of that information with you everywhere you go. You take your phone with you all the time, right? Keep it in there. Keep it in your computers, your laptop, your desktop, or whatever device that you use that you carry along with you, and use it as often as you like. And we would love to hear from you, even if it's just to say hello. Okay. So let me give you that email address again. It's frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. I want to bring out something to you guys, and I think it's very important that I tell you this because I like to look out for people, especially you guys who you take the time to be with us each week. I want to present something to you that I think should be an interest to you and keeps money in your pocket. Now, we all know when we go online, we do a lot of shopping, and you go to the reputable places such as Amazon. Everybody goes to Amazon. They're reputable. They have no problems right now. Okay, at least not yet. So everything is good. But you have some of these other online websites that do you no good. And I'm going to quickly run through this because I had an experience about this. Here's a website that I want all of you to stay away from. Please stay away from this website. This is one of those websites that do printing. Now, you've seen the ones on TV, you know, the printing web shops that do things on coffee mugs, baseball caps, T-shirts, sweatshirts, underwear, whatever, you know. And this is one of those. It's called Print-A-Vow. Print-A-Vow. And their slogan is Spice Up Your Life. It's printaval.com. Let me spell that for you. It's PRINTERVAL. Printavow.com. Stay away from them. They're a very bogus website. I had a bad experience. I'm okay now. I ordered something that was no heavier than this little pen right here. All they have to do is just ship it around. Now, the experience I had with them is that when I ordered, you know, these people, they give you a tracking device where you can track your order. And I tracked mine, and I tracked it to the point where it finally went on the road. It said on the road, right? And it's been on the road since November 11th, and it never arrived. I called them. I told them about it. They said, well, we'll get back to you in 12 business hours because we want to track it down and see if we can find it where it is and let you know. They never did. I called them back. And they said, well, give it a little time because with the Christmas rush and all of the holiday rush and everything, we got a lot. But when they told me that, it was already en route or en route, whatever, you know. So it never arrived. And to make a long story short, just the day before yesterday, I gave them their final email, told them that, if I don't get a refund, I need to get a refund my money. If I don't get a refund, I don't hear from you guys afterwards, then I will take it to another level and I will seek legal help. And no, they didn't get back to me. And the reason why they didn't get back to me, because when you talk about refund, they don't want to hear it. So I got with my bank. I told them exactly what happened. And so my bank, they're beautiful people, my bank, they said we're going to put a stop on it and we are going to dispute the charges and put the money back into your account. So just stay away from that website. It's called printtheval.com. And you have my permission if you want. If you want to get in touch with these people and tell them that you already know about their shenanigans, you heard it on this show, Frank Allan told you about it. The email is support@printtheval.com. That's support@printtheval.com. PRINTERVAL. All right. And you can do that. Be very careful. And if you happen to go on one of those websites where you don't get your money back, or they say it's going to take a little time, go to your creditor or go to your bank and they'll fix it up for you. So never go there. Okay. I'm sorry I have to put them out there, but that's the way it goes. You are not going to take my money from me. Okay, I have movies, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend. You're coming up. All right, I have 5 new movies this week, so I'm going to quickly go right through them. They're great movies that I think you'll like. Go back to 1955. This is called Pete Kelly's Blues. Jack Webb, Janet Leigh, and Edmund O'Brien. That's, hey, Ella Fitzgerald has a part in there too. So in Turner Classic Movies, and that's Saturday at 6 p.m., 6 a.m., 6:15 a.m. Eastern. And if you can't wake up that early, you could always DVR these movies and watch them later on at your earliest convenience. Also, we have From Here to Eternity from 1953, Burt Lancaster, Montgomery Clift, and Deborah Kerr. Frank Sinatra, of course, is in there along with Ernest Borgnine. And that's Saturday at 1:45 p.m. Eastern. Then we have It Happened on Fifth Avenue, 1947 comedy with Don DeFore and Anne Harden and Victor Moore. That's Turner Classic Movie. That's Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And biblically, we have Ben-Hur from 1959, Charlton Heston, Jack Hawkins, and Stephen Boyd. That's because this is the holiday. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then King of Kings from 1961, Jeffrey Hunter and Robert Ryan. It's Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Now you can go to Turner Classic Movies and check out other movies that I didn't mention. They may be something to your liking. You could watch those and check it out. Also, go there online while you're there. Go to other places, pay-per-view movies, you got those. You could see those there, plenty of those. And of course, on demand with the free movies on demand there. And then you have great documentaries and children's programs, sporting events, anything you want. You like those Lifetime movies, you get aboard and watch some of those. They're out there for you too, okay? So please check it out. Now, let me give you these movies once again. It's called Pete Kelly's Blues. That's Jack Webb, Janet Leigh, and Edmund O'Brien. A Turner Classic Movie, Saturday at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. From Here to Eternity with Burt Lancaster, Montgomery Clift, and Deborah Kerr. That's Turner Classic Movies, Saturday at 1:45 p.m. And then you have It Happened on Fifth Avenue with Don DeFore, Anne Harden, and Victor Moore. Turner Classic Movies, Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Ben-Hur, Charlton Heston, Jack Hawkins, and Stephen Boyd. Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 1 p.m. And King of King, Jeffrey Hunter and Robert Ryan. Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Get a load of those movies. I think you'll like it. Put a note on my desk when you come back and tell me how you like them. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I had a good time. I hope you did too. Well-deserved time. And I want to say hello to all of you who have joined in. Thank you, Warren, for being along with us. A lot of football coming up this weekend, all right? I'm going to come back on next Thursday on Talk Back Live I hope that you will be here. Brian Camp will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. We're looking forward to seeing you then. Then come back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the coffee hour. Brian Camp will be along with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you too. It's coffee. We'll have a little coffee in hand and have a little good time and enjoy ourselves. That's all happening right here. Remember, this weekend, we got the holidays coming up, but stay cautious. If you're going to do any driving, please stay away from the saloons. All right, walk there. Don't drive there, and then walk back or take a cab or Uber or anything like that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you back here next week for more of the Coffee Hour. Have yourself a great day and a great weekend. Take care.
You've been watching the Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Coffee Hour.